So I'm standing out here in the field of buckwheat, which we call our food plot number 1, and it's our only food plot, but we plan on having more than one. So right now we call it food plot number 1. This is also the field that Devin recorded one of his first adoption videos. We call it the crying in the field of buckwheat video, because he cries in a field of buckwheat, and the buckwheat looked amazing. And that's what we're trying to get it to here for season 2. So I'm about to mow this thing. If you care about buckwheat and food plot on top of adoption, we put down buckwheat and the mower wasn't running, so Devin drug it with the harrow. And there's some buckwheat coming up, but it's not coming up very well. So I'm going to mow it. Anyways, I thought, since I'm in this field of buckwheat and my favorite adoption video is crying in the field of buckwheat, I just make a quick little adoption related video. Probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, Devin, our sister, spouses, kids, dad, and stepmother all went on a little getaway. It was the first one we've done like that. Now that I think about it, wow. I have not thought about it till right now. That might be the first, call it a vacation, that the siblings and dad have done together. I got to think about that. We'll follow up on that. But I think that's our first. Wow, I hadn't thought about that till right now. I think that was our first, call it family vacation. Some really fun stuff happened. We got caught in a hailstorm. My truck's all dented up. Got to get that fixed. Devin's messed up a little bit too. Brother-in-law's also messed up, and Dad's messed up. Here's a video of the hailstorm. So not only was that our first family vacation, I think, if that's what we want to call it, but also our first hailstorm together. You know, we started this channel because we thought it would be fun, right? Well, it'll just be fun, but then also it'll be great for our kids to be able to go watch this, and us, but really our kids be able to go watch this undeveloped land that we bought. You know, look back on it in 20 years and see like how we got to where we're at. You know, we've also put out some adoption videos because we thought, you know, that's cool too. And if you've heard Devin talk about it in particular, it's been very therapeutic for him to talk to the camera. Well, we've also just received so many comments. We don't have a big channel, but it's just so many comments and feedback from people sharing their stories with us, and people saying, you know, I adopted a child and asking questions, or I was an adopted child that's looking for my parents. And, you know, the more Devin and I have talked about it, we're like, there might actually be some stuff that we can put out that would help people. You know, I'm sure parents have questions. You know, we're in a pretty unique situation where Devin was put up for adoption, and his whole life he wanted to see a picture of his parents, like one of them, you know? And then he found out that he had a full-blood brother and a full-blood sister, and he knows where mom and dad are. And now we went on this vacation, you know, get together, whatever you want to call it, a little family vacation, you know? So we had 6 kids there, 4 girls, 2 boys, seeing them all play together and interact. And I have the youngest, Devin has the oldest, and the older cousins helping take care of the younger cousins. And how none of that would have existed had we not found each other. From dad to sister to me to Devin, all have the same interests. Like nature versus nurture thing is so interesting because Devin, dad, our sister, and I, we all have the same interests. And, you know, being outdoors and doing things outdoors is one of those. It's kind of, I guess, kind of a foundational piece for a lot of what we value. And it's a neat thing because we were all raised differently. You know, early on, somewhat early on, Devin's wife, Nicole, pointed something out. Nicole pointed out one of the mannerisms that Devin, myself, and our dad has. And it's kind of strange to say unless you also do this, but I have a thing, Devin has a thing, Dad has a thing, where a lot of times when you're checking something out, like someone hands you something, we smell it. It's like, not only do we want to touch it and feel it, we want to smell it. and Nicole pointed that out, like, oh my goodness, y'all do that, so does Devin. And it's just one of those nature things, yeah, I guess, because that's not a really normal thing. And it's funny, I don't think I do that so much anymore. And I think it's because she pointed it out, and I was like, man, if I saw someone smelling random things that I handed them, I'd probably think that's weird. So I think I subconsciously don't do it as much, but I don't know, maybe I don't pay attention. I need to start paying attention. you know, if anybody out there that's watching these videos has any questions, please ask them. We kind of hit a point with a few of the comments and questions that we got where we're like, dude, you know, this whole topic of adoption, we could really help shed some light on things for not only the adopted parents, but the parents that put the kids up for adoption, as well as the kids, you know, that were adopted. Because we have the weird ability, since we're all together, to talk about these things amongst each other and ask, like, dude, what were you feeling? What are you feeling right now? Is there something that your parents could have told you differently? Or when we met, is there something that could have been, we should have done differently? The last thing I will end with is Devin put out a video of the first letter that Dad wrote him, and he read it on camera. I didn't even know this thing existed and I never heard about it until he was like, hey, I'm putting up a new video, you're gonna like it. And I was like, what? Never even heard of this. Well, when we met up a few weeks ago, Dad brought the first letter that Devin wrote him. And I think he's gonna read that on camera for us. So I have no idea anything about it. I just know that. So I'm very excited to see that. But anyways, that's all I have to say. I mean, it's just, we just all feel blessed. It's amazing. It's amazing that all the kids and cousins get together like they do. And that my sister and Devin and I and our wives and husband and dad and stepmom, we got to go do this. And we're all very blessed that we have such a good relationship. I'm actually about to call Devin, find out if he agrees that I should mow this. You know, so if you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to contact us and ask, because we'll talk about it for sure. Thanks for tuning in. I am going to mow this field of buckwheat. Hopefully we get some serious growth, and then maybe we can make another crying in the field of buckwheat video.